All right. Hello. This is our first episode. We're going to be talking about Prey and Predator. Um, I'm Samill. Yo, who else up on here?
I thought you were gonna introduce.
You
uh,
yeah, you introduce yourself.
this guy. But I go by Puppet or Conan.
All right. And then we got our first guest, Knux. He's been in the business a bit longer than us.
Hey everyone, it's me, Knux. I've been on YouTube for a hot minute. I run the Knux Free channel. And yeah, I'm just here to discuss with y'all. I'm a guest here.
Yeah, he usually talks about games and Sonic and whatnot, but this time we're talking about some movies. I'm not the most knowledgeable on movies, but we're gonna throw our 2 cents in. So the new movie on the block, Prey. I watched it on Hulu. So what did you guys think of it? Did you guys like the movie?
Who's going first?
Uh,
Uh,
I could go last. I could go last.
But next you go.
all right.
Go from bottom.
All right, so in terms of my perspective on movies and stuff like that, I don't watch movies often either. Like me, I'm a big guy with Marvel and Disney. Like I stay in my comfort zone. I'm a big animation guy. I don't watch many big blockbuster live action movies. So this was a bit out of my comfort zone. But that being said, Prey I think was an okay movie. Like, am I to give it a score already, or do I just give like general impressions?
You can if you want.
All right, if I had to give it a score, my score would pretty much go on I'd give it a rough C plus.
C
C
plus.
plus. Yeah.
I liked it. Um, but like I think it was above the average, but I wouldn't say it was like amazing. I would probably give it like a B minus, like because I wasn't bored watching it at all, but I did have some gripes with it. But yeah,
I
Conan, what do you
feel
think?
the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, same with Nugs. I don't really watch movies, but I feel like as a standalone, this was decent. So maybe like a C plus or something.
Yeah, I guess I'm rating it maybe slightly higher than you guys, but only like a smidge. But cause like yeah, I was thinking like, cause since I do think it's above the fray, I'm giving it a B minus.
Oh, it's definitely above a lot of garbage I done seen recently. I'll say
Yeah, because
that.
there are some movies I tried watching on Netflix, but and then they ended up being hot garbage and mediocre, and most of those were the Netflix originals. Like I tried, like I don't know, man, like
Oh
that
nah,
that's almost an
finding
indicator that it's
finding
garbage.
quality through Netflix originals is like looking for a diamond in a needle in a like in a no needle in a haystack. Let's go with that.
Yeah, if when I see that it says Netflix original, especially if it's not an animation, it's almost like a brand. It's branded saying that it's trash. But anyway, let's not get too far off topic. Uh, Prey. I the main character. Yeah, let's talk about the main character. The main character was okay. She was kind of like a she was a little edge lord, to be honest. Like a grumpy cat. She would have. I would say she was like almost cool, but she got the job done as a main character. I'd say. What do you guys think? Or
So the character's name is Naru. Leave it to me to remember these minute details. But the
nice.
character's name is Naru, if I'm correct. And her whole thing is she's a Comanche girl, natives, and they have to deal with the predators suddenly landing with them. And this is interesting because Predator is a series that has like history, though we don't 100% necessarily know if this is connected to older movies. Like I've only watched this one and the original, so those are the only two I have context for. But I heard there is a connection to one of the old ones in
Yeah.
this movie,
Uh.
so you can technically make those comparisons.
Yeah. I think it's
But
because it takes place in the past. I guess it's a prequel. I didn't confirm if they're it's in the same universe, but I mean, I guess you could take that guess.
in terms of the protagonist, like I'll stick with the protagonist.
Yeah.
In terms of her, I thought she was just okay, like like barely above passing because honestly, I don't remember much about her other than she wants to set out because everyone says she can't hunt, she can't do this. We've seen this, we've seen
Yeah.
tons of, female protagonists who want to set out and prove themselves because society says, nah, you woman stay.
Yeah, they didn't explicitly say because you're a woman, but I mean,
Right.
you could kind of guess that. But I mean, even then, if you just look at it just as like a neutral character, like it's an understandable character motivation. Like
Yeah,
when the
like I
when
don't have a problem with that in of itself. It's just
yeah
that I feel like she was missing like traits to really make her feel
yeah
unique.
like you could have added some quirks or something like that. Like even if it was something minuscule, like she likes eating sweets or something like that. I don't know if they have sweets over there, but I mean, like you could have added like some type of thing to like add to her character. But in the
Goku.
scene when they asked her, why do you want to hunt? And then she's like, because society's telling me I can't. It's like you could have added some type of flavor to that to
Yeah,
make it
that
sound like
scene, for
really
example,
cool.
needed like better dialogue.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
could have added
straight
a
up say.
little bit of flavor to that. But yeah, Conan, what'd you think of the main character?
She seemed like a better version. Well, I don't know. Have you guys ever watched a TV show called The 100?
There's a lot of TV.
No.
No, I have not.
Well, basically, they sent a bunch of teenagers down to Earth because the Earth ended, and like that's their punishment. They're prisoners, pretty much. And there was one girl named Octavia, and she was against the other teenagers pretty much, and she like joined the Grounders, which are the people that stayed on Earth, like cavemen kinda, but not really. But yeah, she was like that kind of, but better written at least. Overall, this main character of the Prey, she felt like a blank main character of like an RPG.
Yeah,
She,
she
she,
had a.
she,
I'd
she didn't
say
have
she had
anything
a
going.
few extra traits above literally being a silent protagonist.
Like, there's
Yeah.
one. Oh, not to go into talking about Predator, the original one, too early, but one thing that comparing the two, one thing that made the original Predator what I really liked was the team dynamic, and like they were all in it together trying to figure out what the hell was going on. But
Oh yeah.
in Prey, it was she was the only one who knew about the Predator, and no one believed her. I feel like if she had at least one friend or someone who did believe her, then there'll be a you could see their interaction and them trying to figure out what's going on together. But the dynamic they had here was that it was one person looking for the answer and no one believed them. Like, I feel like that one dynamic, having at least one person believing her, could have added like a whole bunch more elements to the story.
It was one person.
Character wise, yeah. I don't know, but I'll say character wise, the first one definitely beats it out because the first one goes out its way to give more quirks and make you remember specific people in the story. As to where here, it's very much the story is centered around the girl and her belief that this monster needs to be stopped.
Yeah. Oh, the Good Hunter, was that her brother or like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did have her companions and friends. Like she had the dog. The dog was probably the realest person in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Dog believed her.
Like, I feel like if the dog was a person that like, because the dog believed her by default, right? But I mean, like if the dog was a person and like she was conversing, like that would have added. You probably would have saw more sides to her because you'd be seeing her talking to a friend. But you know, yeah. So like, if you're able to see more discussion like between her and someone else, I feel like it could have added more layers. But
The dog also did give her a few quirky moments because she did talk to her dog sometimes.
True.
And like make little snarky comments towards it because it's.
Hey, while we're on the topic of the dog, I would give the movie points because they didn't kill the dog.
Oh, I thought that boy was gone. 100%. I was like, nah, you're dead. But him surviving surprised the heck out of me.
oh
Right.
yeah. I don't. I didn't think about that aspect, but yeah, I guess you could give some points for that.
Bro, it's always the dog or the black person. You can't forget that.
Let's see. One moment. All right. Uh, there's a little stop there, but let's see. So, who is your favorite character? Who is your guys' favorite character? Mine would be the brother. He was cool, but I mean, the thing is, well, they didn't flesh out many of the other characters. Like it was just
I
her.
mean, it basically boils down to her, the dog, and the brother as like
Yeah.
the
So yeah,
protagonists.
there isn't much. Yeah. So the
The
top
rest of the
three.
tribe didn't believe her and were basically fodder for
Yeah.
the
So
for
my
Mr. Predator.
my top
Um,
three favorite characters would be the only characters who are in there. And then does the Predator count as a character? Like I mean, or is he just like the enemy force? I mean, I guess I like the Predator. I mean, his design was cool and all that too. So I mean, I guess you have to like the Predator by default. So
he
I
also
don't like
has a
Predator.
weird, uneery design to me. I don't know. I feel like he is, especially the hair. The hair is kind of funny to me.
hmm. uh, I mean, it looked cool. But oh, so I guess we could skip over the favorite character because what you guys would say something similar or
I mean, mine was the dog. The dog put in work.
See, that's what I'm saying. He was goaded.
She had the dog running around and stuff. Like they really trained that dog.
That's
They
true.
don't beat the John Wick Part 3 dogs. I'll say
Oh,
that.
Oh yeah,
of course.
true.
But you
The
know,
dog did put in work,
Oh.
saved her life a
Yeah.
bunch of times.
Quick side note: we got to review John Wick 4 when that comes out next year.
oh boy.
All right, back to Prey.
For sure. Oh, what are you guys' thoughts on the Predator in Prey? I feel like the design was cool. One thing is, it felt like he was taking a lot of hits, like for no reason. Like maybe I like doing that because like there was times when I could have dodged or blocked, but it was just eating hits. Um, like what do you guys think?
See, okay, so now this is gonna get into the probably some of the bigger negatives, which is the power level of this thing. Now, this is ridiculous because I feel like, the power level of this thing fluctuates so freaking much. The entrance of this thing alone, like, puts it on such a high pedestal because this is a creature that punched a bear in the face and took it out
Yeah. Oh,
and lifted it above its head.
after the
So-
bear mawed it down, like the bear went to
Yeah.
town on him, then he got back up like it was nothing, and then he just one shot it. I was like, damn.
So that alone put it on like such a big pedestal. So I feel like that, like, and while it makes sense and it's a great scene because it does establish, how terrifying this thing is, the fact that it makes like light work of this terrifying bear,
Yeah.
but it causes problems later where like she gets the edge on this thing and gets some clean shots in, and like it's like I don't know, it felt a little stronger than that earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Conan, what do you think of the Predator overall in this one?
I didn't like the mask, and yeah, I thought the power levels was pretty off too. It's like when the dudes are fighting, it didn't seem natural to me.
Oh, speaking of things that are not natural, it kind of irked me a little bit when she added the rope to the axe. It seemed pretty off-putting when she pulled it to return. It came back to her like Captain America's shield. It was like a straight line. It just goes directly
Nah,
back to her.
Seeing her that axe, like I've seen a lot of people either like praise that axe, like, oh, that's such a cool weapon, or no, that's so stupid, that would never be practical. Like it would never
Yeah.
come back that perfectly. I just immediately was thinking of freaking Kratos' axe in God of War. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, it reminds me of that, so it's kind of cool. But I can see how it probably wouldn't be the most practical thing against this thing.
Yeah, I feel like if it at least dragged on the floor, or if there was like an arc when it returned back to her, it would make more sense. But nah, it was coming like directly back to her, like on some supernatural, some supernatural type of thing. Like I instantly thought of Cap's shield, like the preciseness. I was like, no shot.
Yeah. See, normally I can forgive those types of things in these types of movies because, like, at the end of the day, it's all fictional anyway. But
Yeah,
it's just in relation to the fact that this is her main weapon and tool to fend off against this creature is what irks me.
yeah, and I guess we could use that to segment into the CGI. There was some.
Oh.
It was there were a few scuffed CGI moments. Like the
Yeah.
lion looked a little off.
Bro, the snake, that was so horrible.
No, the lion definitely had some bad shots in there. That was that was some Marvel. Like I know how people roasted Marvel hard for their CGI these days, and rightfully so in a lot of ways. But they can look a bit better than some of this movie shots. But it's just it's whatever. I can live with a little bad CGI.
Yeah, the Predator is what matters most, and the Predator looked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he practical or is he CGI? I
Oh,
don't
I
know
heard that
that.
it was mostly practical, but they touched it up with some CGI.
Okay.
pretty
Which is
cool.
good because it's always good when studios do use practical. It just inherently looks better.
Yeah. So overall, with like the story, um, I would say that it was decent. Like, but I liked it, but the ending, the final fight, when it comes to the final fight, I liked it except for, like, down to the last hit. Like, how is the Predator gonna kill itself with its own weapon? Like, it should be smarter than that, because when it was fighting, when the fight in like the middle to the end, when he goes in to fight all the guys with the guns, but then and he steps into one of the, what was it, like a bear trap. He does it on purpose to get them off guard, and then he ends up killing them afterwards. So it shows that he's intelligent, but how is he not gonna know his own weapon works?
Yeah,
And he
he's
got
very much intelligent, but I, honestly, I think that's actually one of the more excusable aspects of how he could die. Because realistically, there's no way anything she has is gonna penetrate this thing. Like once the gun failed, that's it. That's as far as humanity got in terms of weapons at that time. So what the heck else is gonna kill him?
I mean,
But his own tech.
like the bullet hurt him, but I guess the bullet wasn't big enough, because like
Right.
it pierced his skin. He was bleeding everywhere. It got a bullet to the brain, but I guess he would need something bigger. So, but like, how is that gonna? They could have thought of something, because like I was like, how are you gonna get a
I
shot
would have
with
been
your
more
own?
mad if it was going the way it was going, where it looked like she killed him by quicksand. Now, if he died by some quicksand, that would be some bull to me. I'd be like, really?
Yeah,
So we're
but
talking about the ending already.
uh, yeah. Like, what did you think of the final fight?
Well, you said the story the first at the beginning of this.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
rambled to the ending, but I mean, my bad. But you know, you
The
could talk about
overall
either.
story, I would say it was like a good, like something to watch if you're bored, but it felt a bit forced. Like at the ending, I don't get how like the way she set up the fight. Like she ran from him, put the mask there, then she fought him in a different area, and then somehow they ended the fight where she needed it to happen. Like,
It was all according to plan, you know.
yeah, it didn't feel right.
Which is kind of funny because I think maybe that's a callback to the original because the original kind of pulls something similar.
Yeah, I guess we could start talking about the original. Fuck it, dude. Let's go. Um,
Honestly, I don't know how much more there is to talk about Prey because it's a decent movie, but there's just not much to it. Like it's basically is the Predator landing in these ancient old times with natives and the colonizing people. Like those are their characters too.
yeah.
But they just kind of amount to more fodder, except the evil father, basically.
Oh yeah, real quick with the colonizer dudes. I thought it was interesting to where it's like, since the main characters don't speak that language, like you couldn't understand what they were saying. I thought that was an interesting touch.
It always annoys me when they never give subtitles for this shit. Bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like they're like,
Oh,
oh
and,
no.
and I'm sorry for the language. I'm sorry. It slipped. But yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
always annoys me when they don't give subtitles for when people speak different languages.
Yeah, they're thinking like, oh, the
Come
main
on now.
character doesn't know what they're saying, so the audience ain't gonna know either. I was like, come on.
Like, if it's an important moment that it really matters that it's ambiguous or it stays in that language, then fine. But if people are having like whole conversations for minutes in a foreign language, bro, you gotta translate that.
Yeah, that'd be
Come on now.
pissing me off as well. So I guess we could transition to Predator, the original one. Did you guys like that one?
Yeah, that was
That
pretty
one
good.
was the most 80s movie I've seen in a minute.
Yo, that movie was
Bro,
OD. I was hooked.
That movie went hard. I loved it.
bro, that first part with all the explosions and stuff, and like I don't know,
Bro,
what do you call it, like an operation or something?
that
Yeah,
movie, that whoever that whole scene was just crack cocaine in your system.
yeah,
They went in crazy in there. They were they were blasting. And it was kind of to a ridiculous degree because like so much is blowing up. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all are
yeah. I was thinking like, what about the hostages? Y'all just
like,
going
bro,
all out.
y'all light this joint up. Calm down.
Yeah, they did not care. Yeah. When it comes
Uh,
to the like the atmosphere of it, like I got hooked instantly. Like the first few minutes, I was like, okay, like the music and everything, like you're just getting into it. Oh, and then like real quick, when it comes to Prey, like I got like immersed too into the atmosphere, like you're just out in nature and stuff. But in Predator, this one, yeah, it did the same thing. But I mean, I did like this music a bit better. But I mean, maybe because I'm like American, all that patriotic sounding shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem is it's that ambience versus like a more clear direction. Like 80s, has that specific soul, that specific like feeling that's just very masculine and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be
And
that, and the
Prey
nostalgia stuff.
definitely leaned on that Breath of the Wild type beat ambience.
Yeah, man, it stick that 80s stuff in my veins, bro. Like that just got me going instantly. I was like, hell yeah.
Wait, speaking of the first few minutes, me and Knux were talking earlier about all the memes that like this movie
Oh
spawned.
yeah,
Oh,
Predator
yeah.
is responsible
I didn't know
for
where
so
like
many memes.
I
Yeah.
didn't know where half that stuff came from, so it was pretty funny to see. Like the
Oh
handshake
yeah.
they did.
Yeah, I was like, dude, they knew they were going over the top with that. That was hilarious.
Black and white unite.
Yo, exactly. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
I was like, oh, so that's where that came from. And of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That man, he's definitely got to be one of my favorite actors. He's just too entertaining to watch.
Yeah, yeah. All the actors were just like beaming with energy. Oh, and that's another thing. Like they fleshed out like the whole team. Like
Right.
like everyone had a personality, and there was funny moments too. They were kind of out
Even
there.
it's still not to where like you're gonna remember everyone's name,
Yeah,
but like they go out their way to give everyone their own little quirks, their own little dynamics and stuff between each other. So
yeah.
it's much more memorable.
The Rambo guy.
Yeah. The dude who's like heavy from TF2.
Oh yeah, the guy with the chewing tobacco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you remember all those people.
yeah.
Not all their names, but the only person I remember name wise is Arnie's character, of course, which is Dutch. I
Yeah,
think.
Dutch, yeah. And then yeah, and like they set up all the characters, you understand their personalities and whatnot, and then when you find out when they start getting hunted by the predator and they all slowly start losing their cool, like it ends up getting a little horrifying because they're like, damn, they're losing their sanity
You
out
can
here.
definitely tell they were jumping between genres with the first Predator because like that whole opening is basically straight up 80s action, like.
Yeah,
But then the Predators kind of leans more in that horror sci-fi direction,
yeah,
and then it slowly comes back around to that action direction from earlier.
yeah. I thought that was pretty cool because yeah, it was getting a little creepy, and then like uh that one
That's
guy.
another advantage. Despite Prey being ambient and trying to be more atmospheric, weirdly enough, the original was kind of better with it because it kept the Predator more mysterious.
Yeah, like it was stalking them for like a long time in the movie. You don't even see it. I think
You
that
get
was pretty
glimpses
cool.
of it, but like it pretty much hides in the shadows for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, I
that
know was that 90s? Yeah, it was 90s, right? Or
it,
80s?
it came out in
The original's 80s, yeah.
yeah,
pretty
like
sure.
late 80s, I think.
Those effects, hated.
Well, yeah.
Like when he was
obviously.
invisible.
It still
Yeah,
got the job
oh,
done
yeah.
though.
Okay, fair. To be fair, like we roasted praise effects for its time. The effects are definitely dated. The invisibility cloak and even like the CGI jumping, that's kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, it's still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I still give it a pass, but like it was funny to see.
Now, power level wise, it's a little more, again, it goes into the factor of it being mysterious because it never confronts everyone directly. You don't really get an idea of how strong this thing is. We know they find out it can bleed, obviously, a lot sooner than in Prey.
Yeah.
So that gives them their hint that they can defeat this thing, but like it's just such a tank and it has so many tools. Like it genuinely looks like no one's getting out of there.
Oh, and to circle back to circle back to the horror aspect, uh when when they all slowly started losing their cool, and then right before they started mowing down half the jungle, when you saw that one guy, that one black guy, like he lost his cool, it was like holy crap, the guy who was keeping it together the whole time, and now he's just losing his mind. I was like, dang. And then they all just start firing into the
Yeah,
jungle.
yeah.
That
Again,
scene was
that goes into
wild.
the character dynamics because he saw his buddy go down, so and he went in,
Yeah, that was nuts.
and they launched a whole like they again that just go they nuked that part of the jungle, but Predator was out of there.
Yeah, so like the character dynamics, that's another reason why I said like if Prey had like one character who believed her, or who at least entertained the thought, like I feel like that could have added so much more to the movie. But her brother does, like, I mean that's after he freaking sees the Predator already, and that's like okay. But
In general, I think it probably would have helped to have it also be a team movie because I feel like it did kind of feel like it was going that way at first with Prey. In the beginning,
yeah,
like the tribe like it was multiple tribe members at first together
yeah, when they
when
were
they were
hunting the
going for the
lion.
lion, but that clearly didn't last for long because one guy gets taken out by the lion. I forget what happens to the other guy, but yeah, one guy disappears, and then they kind of regroup later. But then obviously by then the predator's like going ham, so
Yeah,
it really comes down to the girl and her brother. So I feel like if they had like a similar dynamic, it'd be better. But I can understand why they didn't do that because they didn't want to copy the original too much. You know how people are with nostalgia.
yeah.
True.
Let me see. Did you guys kind of answer like what you thought? Wait, hold up, hold up. Like what you thought Prey could have done better, or like compared to, or well, I guess we're already doing that. Like what you thought Predator did better than Prey.
Other than the team dynamic thing, I can't really say much else because it really does come down to that character work. The character work in the original is just objectively better than in Prey, in my opinion.
Same.
I think the way they ended the last fight was better in the original.
Oh, I did kind of
Like,
find it
it
funny.
was
The Predator said, "Screw the weapons, let's throw the
Oh
fade."
yeah, that shows how insane the Predator is. Arnold, like it looks like you got him. Oh yeah, when I saw that he brought his claw down and stabbed next to his neck, I was like, what the hell? He ends up getting him, and then he pins him to the tree. But he saw that he doesn't have any weapons, so the Predator's like, let me take off the gun and everything, and let's just fight with hands. I was like, yo, this guy's just nuts.
Oh yeah, in a way, the original kind of gives the Predator more of a character.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
it really makes it seem like it is legit an alien hunter that came just to run fades with people on the planet.
Yeah. Oh, and he was copying the guy's laugh. Like when one of the characters told the other guy a joke, and then I think the Predator was copying the laugh, and then even at the ending, he starts laughing when he decides to suicide. I was like, dang, this thing is actually just a maniac.
Yeah, but I feel like that made it even more memorable because it just made it like this insane. It gave me that Chucky vibe.
Yeah, I really like that. And yeah, speaking of the ending, the final fight, um, I thought it was pretty cool because Dutch, he was like, come on, just go through the trap. But then the Predator, he stops for a second and looks around. He's like, nah, I ain't falling for that. I was like, oh, dang. I thought that was a pretty cool thing
Yeah,
that they
I for
added.
sure thought that's how you get it, but nah, the fact that he went around.
Yeah, it was funny too. And I like that. Like it had some comedic elements sprinkled around, and that part was definitely one of them.
the only part I didn't like was when he hit something and then the log fell. I felt that was like too coincidental.
Mm, I
I mean, he
guess
did
kind.
set it up. I can believe he had that calculated. Like, I feel like that's the thing with
Like
the original. It's
that
a little more
exact spot.
airtight of a story. There's less, a little more less filler in there.
Yeah. Cause,
Well, I'd say Prey is also pretty airtight. You could argue there's no point to the colonizer people, maybe, but other than that,
it was an interesting element. What I call it like filler.
Wait, the colonizers from the prey?
yeah.
Yeah.
They needed them because they needed a way to show that the predator wouldn't attack if you're the prey.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's true. Um.
true. That and to show that guns, even like the best thing at that time can't stop it.
Yeah, and since you're in that time period, you'll be wondering, oh, where's like the settlers or colonizers? Like, where are they at? You'll be thinking that, and it's like, oh, they're over there. And I thought it was a neat touch to show that it wasn't the predator who skinned the buffalo. They showed that she picked up a cigar, and it's like, oh, it's them.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. Speaking of the predator needing to know that, they kind of did that in the original too, when the guy was pursuing after the native girl or whatever she was. Then the predator went to kill him.
Oh yeah,
But
Right.
at least in that
Right.
movie, they didn't like figure out what was his weakness. So I thought that was interesting.
And there was the part. I do think the part where she used the dude as bait to get the predator also was kind of neat. That was neat.
yeah. Well, since I watched Predator after I watched Prey, that I realized there were a bunch of callbacks. There were some callbacks in Prey to Predator, like
There is one I know of from like skimming comments and stuff. So apparently, one callback is the gun that she uses against the predator, and the one she gets a hold of is a gun that ends up showing up in Predator 2, but it's a gun that's in the collection of the predators. So there's this weird, and if you watch the end credits
mhm.
at the very end, it shows like the spaceship, still around that area. So it implies maybe that more predators are there.
Oh yeah, I did see that end credits thing, to where it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna return for more of them are to come.
So maybe does that imply like they come back and actually get the gun from them? Since that gun is in Predator 2 and it's owned by the predators? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
if the ending if the implication is he won in the end, that would be kind of crazy.
Dang, like in the
That'd be kind of messed up. But
hinting at a
but I
bad
don't know.
ending.
That's just with what little I know. I do not know anything about this series.
I mean, that was slightly more trivia than I knew, or well, more trivia than I knew. But oh yeah,
I look into deep in this stuff. I have an addiction to reading wikis and all that stuff and comments. So
so,
don't take my word for it though. I'm sorry.
so when it comes to the original Predator, I'd probably rate that like a or an S or something like that. I enjoyed it a grip. Is there anything you guys didn't like about it? I mean, I guess we clowned on the dated CGI a little bit, but I mean that's like, I was like, come on, it's from the 80s. But I mean, do you guys have any gripes about the original
You
one?
could also say the dated language because at the start,
I mean,
Twitter would have a field day with that.
I mean, they're like army dudes, they're not gonna be the
like,
most PC. I
and
chuckled a
during the
little bit,
80s,
but yeah,
so that makes sense. But yeah,
it could have been worse. But I mean, it still worked in the movie. It was, I thought
right, right.
it was fitting enough. But yeah, that is an understandable a nitpick or gripe.
I mean, it's not my nitpick. I'm not a dude who's like super bothered by it, but I can understand if some people are, offended by it.
Yeah. Conan, what do you think? You got some?
I already said it. Aside from the log part, just thought that was like too on the nose.
Yeah, I think I'd give the movie an A too. Honestly, I'd say it's an A plus because this was a pretty dang good movie.
Yeah.
I cannot think of any negatives other than that dated CGI.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, probably an A.
I I guess I expected it would be like cool or whatnot, but I did not expect to get so into it. Like I was like hooked. I was
Oh,
like,
me
holy.
neither. I legit thought it was gonna be like a boring movie of the Predator stalking some people. Like, oh no, is the Predator real or not? Nah, it's soldiers who take action normally, and you would think would be most equipped to deal with someone like this, but no, they're getting mowed down.
Yeah, and also, I wasn't expecting the horror elements like what I said earlier. Like, I did not expect this to get a little spooky, a little
Oh
spooky.
no, I wasn't expecting the action elements. That's what I wasn't expecting because I know Predator is a horror series, especially with Alien versus Predator. I think Alien leans more in the horror stuff.
Yeah, if I remember
But
correctly, yeah.
Speaking of action, that part when he went down the waterfall and like he thought he was safe, but he wasn't.
oh,
That was
Oh,
sick.
that predator was nuts. He just jumped
yeah.
down after him.
He was moving, bro.
He did not care.
Oh, it was pretty sick.
But yeah, is there any? Honestly, I don't even know how else to compare the two. It really does come down to that character work, I think.
Yeah, and every angle, I would say, yeah, the original one is definitely better. Is Prey garbage? No, I would say it's above the Prey, and I would have to go back and watch the other Predator movies. But I heard, I could be wrong, but I heard like the other ones were like mediocre or whatnot.
Yeah, I
But
hear the series basically fell off after the first, and Prey is like that first little good one in years, which I'm not sure, bro. Like, it depends. Like, to each of their own. Like, everyone has their different opinions on long-running movie franchises.
yeah, but I can understand why there were sequels because the first one was just so good. Also, side note, maybe in a later episode we will go over the other Predator movies. I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff we could possibly cover. Let us know in the
Yeah,
comments.
Conan gave me like a synopsis of one of them, and I was like, "What?" He said there's one where there's a planet of them and humans are there, which sounds wild to me.
Not like they sent planets there to like something I forgot, and like they started getting stalked or something by the predator.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know which one it was. I just saw it when I was a kid.
yeah. But yeah, I've never seen. I had no experience with this series or the Alien series, or because I don't watch much horror. I'm not a big horror guy, and it's not because I'm well. Okay, it's partially because I'm a pussy, but
Oh, real side note. Speaking of horror movies, I guess for like several months now, I started watching more movies because like before then, I was only watching like anime and cartoons. But I enjoy all types of media, and I did watch. I watched crap, what was it called? Oh yeah, The Conjuring. I watched Conjuring 1 and 2. Bro, those movies were garbage. And like the scariness peaks. I think it was Conjuring 1. The horror elements peak in the beginning. Once they actually start showing you what's scary, it's not even scary anymore, it just looks corny. Like
yeah, it's definitely hard to make. It's getting harder to make a really good horror series.
My sister told me The Conjuring was like the scariest movie she's seen.
bro, that shit was ass.
Yeah, like if you ain't Jordan Peele, or someone, like it's getting harder to get respect, in the horror genre out here.
Oh well.
And I can
Nah,
understand
I
it.
heard he's falling off.
Oh, he's falling off too. Okay.
That's what I heard. I
Uh,
heard after Get Out, he was like the GOAT, and then Candyman sucked. Said Us sucked.
I
Then
only
they
saw
said
Get Out. I only saw Get Out. Get Out was cool.
Yeah, Get Out was all right.
they said the newest one is like whatever.
Wait, did it come out yet, or it's gonna come out?
Yeah, it came out already. June 22nd. Called Nope.
Still see some people praising that boy. So
Oh, maybe we could cover that one. Let us know in the comments below. Hit that like button, ring
Oh,
that bell.
no.
Anyway, let's go into some closing statements. You guys have any last words or any other topics on the two movies that we should go over? Or
I feel like I said everything I needed to say. Overall, I'd say I enjoyed both movies. The original Predator, I do think it was a much better movie, and it just comes down to the fact that the character work was better. And I feel like that is a bit of a problem, with some of modern Hollywood. It does need to work on its really nailing the scripts and characters sometimes. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
Conan?
Yeah, pretty much same. I think Prey is like a watchable movie if you got nothing to watch. Like, I don't see it being like a must watch or anything.
Yeah. If you're, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a must watch, but it is. I would say it's better than The Fray. It's definitely it's above mediocre. I would, like I said earlier, B minus. Original Predator, I give that like an A plus or an S tier rating. Um, oh wait, you know what? Yeah, definitely, I'll give that an S tier rating. That movie, I would recommend it to anybody who likes some action. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I guess that's about it. Um, like, comment, subscribe. This is Samill, Conan, Knux. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.